let's take a second to talk about the Microsoft Translator service. So this is a service developed by Microsoft Research. It's leveraged here in Bing Translator, and it's available to developers to leverage the raw API in their application. So we'll talk about how to implement that in a Windows 8 app, but we'll do that in a second. First, I just want to get set up. Like, what do I need to do to get set up? And so there's two steps. The first is to subscribe to the service. This just gives you permission to use the service. And the second is to register your app that you're about to create. So let's go and look at, first just look at the translator service. Kind of fun. I can move it to, let's say, French. What is your name? What is your name, I might ask? And see, it's auto-detect, which is one of the features of the service. It detects what the string is that you pass into it. This is available through the API to developer as well, to detect what language the user might be typing in, as well as to translate, of course, as well. And there, of course, is the how does this sound? I can click on the speak here, and it will actually pronounce it. Isn't that adorable? And what's nice about it is that's available through the API as well. Right? There's a lot of cool functionality. Now there are pieces that help you enable localization in your Windows 8 app. We'll talk about that at another time. Right now, how do you access the raw API? Right? That's what I care about. So there's two steps. First, subscribe. Second, register your application. So let's do it. I'll use Bing to find the Azure Data Marketplace. Azure Data Marketplace. And let's see, here it is right here, the datamarket.azure.com. This is a place inside Azure where people who have data publish it and then can sell access to their data. There's a lot of data here. It's really nice. There's a lot of free data as well as access to services such as the translator, right? If I search for translator up here in the search bar, the first one will be the Microsoft Translator. That's the one we're going to fiddle with here. I'll go ahead and select it. And now it tells me all of its pricing options. And what's nice is there's a free option that I'll use for my application. It's down at the bottom, and it's the first 2 million characters per month are free. So I'll go ahead and sign up for this. I'll point out that I'm already signed into the Azure Data Marketplace. I created my account. That's free. All of this is free based on your usage, right? As soon as you start becoming a successful application, you're going to start moving up in the tier, right? There is no service like this service. When you see some of the things that it can do, it's really amazing. So I'll go ahead and sign up. It'll ask me for terms of service. I'm glad to comply, of course. Of course I read them. All right, here's my receipt. I'll drop back to the translator main page, and you can see at the bottom now, that's my active subscription. My active subscription is ready to go. Cost me nothing a month. I have 2 million characters per month that I can use, and I can also look to see how many of those characters have been used and kind of understand my usage. All right, now down at the very bottom of the page, very bottom, scroll all the way down, there's a developer link. I'm going to click it, and it's going to navigate now to a special section where I have a list of applications that I've written. Now, this is different than your username and password or your client ID or anything else inside the marketplace. All of that is for you. Right. What I'm going to create now is basically I'm registering an app that I'm going to build. Right. So this is going to be my sample app. So I'll say register, and it'll ask me what's the ID, and it's going to be let's see, I'll call it Jerry's sample app. Easy enough. I can make that whatever I want to, and its name is going to be Jerry's sample app. And what's the client secret? This is the password. What password do you want? Jerry's. Let's see, Jerry's sample app password. That's a ridiculous password, by the way, but I could do whatever. I think I actually need just a few more letters. No, I don't. Good. It has to be 20 as the minimum. And then look, it asks for the URI. That's nothing, right? That's not used by this service, but it is a required field when registering your app. So I'm going to go ahead and put my my domain, my personal blog there, and I'm going to make it HTTPS only because if you don't, it gives you an error message. Not an error message, more like a recommendation. Look, I'll do it so you can see it. Let's see, you are strongly encouraged to use SSL, and so I'll just I'll do it for fun. Right? Again, this is not used by the service, just a required field on the form. The description is not necessary. See, there's no asterisk, so I'll just leave it without it. And now look, these are the two things that I care about the most. My client ID, which I'll eventually embed inside my application, and then my secret, or really my app password, and I'll also embed that in my application too. Those two things are required when accessing the service. So I don't need to have my username, password, client ID, or anything like that from my marketplace account. I just need this. This is how my app accesses my account. So I'll say create, takes but a second, and now I've got it down here in registered apps. Here's my client ID. I know I've also got my password. I'm ready to use it. These are the two things that I'll need in order to make OAuth work. 2 steps. First, subscribe to the service. Second, register your application.